Hello Pokemon fans, this is ProPokeNoob back today. Thank God, finally, Showdown has put its crap together into one giant dung pile and has figured out how to fix Showdown so I can actually record. Because I've been trying to do this for a while, but for some reason when the servers are down I can't access my replays, and I guess it's because they brought on the same thing. But yeah, I'm back. And I have a battle that I'm not even going to narrate because I play really poorly in it, and my opponent plays it very well. I would argue more standard play, but I mean, I make a couple of mistakes, so I'm going to let you guys watch it. But instead, what I'm going to do is actually, I said I would talk about 6th gen changes, or just 6th gen meta advances and stuff like that. So, the guy who puts out all the gen monthly statistics, he's put one out for 6th gen. It's very, very tentative. Don't believe it, but I'm going to tell you about it anyways because, you know, it just gives you an idea of what the 6th gen meta is going to be, or what it has right now. It's actually been changing quite a bit once November started, but once people started discovering more Pokemon, this list, probably its numbers changed a lot, but, you know, just to give you an idea while you watch this. So, if you guys want a hint as to where I screw up in this match, just look at my 2 ghost types and see where I go wrong there, and you'll get the idea if you don't want to listen to me and just zone out and watch and be like, oh, it's Pokemon. Okay, so like I said, this is the October usage statistics. So let's get this started. Starting off with number 1 top man in the match, in the tier, is of course Broken Aegislash. Now Aegislash, we already know what it is. It's essentially one giant mind game. We've learned we can Will-O-Wisp through King Shield. We can status it through King Shield. So it's not stupid, even though Sucker Punch still activates if you use King Shield, which I think is really dumb. It gives them the -2 attack drop, but still, it's basically a mind game, and it hurts. 1 in 3 teams use it. It's pretty evident that it's gonna be, you know, suspected for Ubers. I think it should be, just because it's just too stupid. I feel like it can be really defensive to set up a lot with the proper hyper-offensive support. It can sweep with priority. It doesn't need speed. It doesn't need anything else but Sacred Sword or Iron Head and Shadow Sneak. That's really all it needs. I've also seen special variants catching people off guard, which is super hilarious. Which, you know, I've looked at. I was like, this thing gets 150 special attacks. Does it have anything that has Shadow Ball? That's not bad. I mean, it catches off certain people, but I haven't tried one yet myself, but I've seen it in action, and it's pretty cool. So, Aegislash, taking number 1, taking it all, just, he's a threat. He's a huge, huge threat. Arguably like the Terrakion for me in 5th gen, but, you know, that could change. Number 2, coming in is Greninja. Greninja having very high speed, high special attack, having access to the ability Protean, which changes it into the type of its move, essentially giving it 100% stab 100% of the time. Really good Pokemon. Has U-turn, gets a few other supporty things like Taunt, gets spikes. Really good Pokemon overall. I think it's actually a fun little addition to teams. Not stupid or broken or anything like that. Just a nice, fun, fast Pokemon to just make certain people panic. There's the first mistake, by the way. So, Greninja falling in number 2. Number 3 is the Talonflame. By the way, I didn't mention, but I'm going to go through the top 10 only. I'm not going through 723 Pokemon, just saying. So, this is only going to be the top 10, and I'll touch on other things. But Talonflame coming in number 3. Talonflame has access to Gale Wings, which gives it priority flying moves, so priority Roost, priority Brave Bird, priority Acrobatics, priority Sky Attack if it gets that type of thing. But, the really cool thing about it is it also has access to Flare Blitz. Kind of like the new Staraptor, except never, because, you know, you can't replace a powerful Staraptor because it's a powerful Staraptor. But, I mean, you know, it's not achieving the same thing that Talonflame is achieving. Burned by a bird. Get it? Get it? Because it's on fire. Yeah! Okay, so, yeah, it's got really good access to moves. I think it learns U-turn as well. I've seen Sword Sense, I've seen Bulk Up, I've seen Choice Banded. Doesn't need Scarf because it gets priority flying moves. To be honest, you don't really need to run. Like, I feel like Brave Bird and Acrobatics are both very viable on it, just because it gets priority regardless, and it's only 15 base power difference. The only thing is we don't have access to Flying Gem unless you play Pokebank, which is this, by the way. This is Pokebank statistics. So, you're allowed to use Flying Gem. So, I don't know. I think it's a really good Pokemon. It doesn't have the highest attack, so it might surprise you, but it does a lot of damage, especially Choice Banded, because Choice Banded Brave Bird, where it just comes in as a suicide, just kamikaze everything, and you just put holes in anything that resists, anything that definitely doesn't resist, and, you know, it's a really good Pokemon. Number 4, surprise, surprise, is Gengar. Half and half, probably because it was a Mega Gengar, and Mega Gengar has been banned, by the way, to Ubers, along with Deoxys Normal, which means Deoxys Speed and Deoxys Attack are still OU, technically. So, I haven't seen anything otherwise, so I'm going to try it out on Showdown, and I'm going to make sure, because I haven't seen anything changed about it. I don't know. And Deoxys Defense. Ooh. Time to troll the ladder, hopefully. But Gengar, yeah, just because it's an overall Pokemon, it was built for OU. It's just an OU Pokemon. It's never leaving OU. Nothing will convince it, especially now that it's learned Dazzling Gleam. Like, these guys, I think Game Freak just loves Gengar. They wish they had a Gengar blow-up doll that they would sleep with every night. I really believe that. Gengar gets everything. Literally everything. But he is the coolest ghost I've ever seen in my life, so awesome. So yeah, Gengar, I mean, a lot of people have been like, why is no one running Focus Blast anymore, Dazzling Gleam only? You have to run Focus Blast to smash in the Steel types. To be honest, I think it's actually, you guys probably don't know about that, but that's what people have been saying in chats and stuff like that. But essentially, because Steel lost its resistance to both Ghost and Dark, Ghost hits everything, really, except for what's it called? Normal. So, I mean, Ghost and Fairy typing covers almost pretty much everything that Ghost and Fighting covers. And depending on how you're using your Gengar, if you want to make it just a cleanup, or as opposed to just like an all-out attacking sweeper that should be able to take out anything from any amount of HP, I think Dazzling Gleam is pretty good over Focus Blast. But at the same time, I think Focus Blast is just better because, I mean, 30 more base power because of the nerf to its power, and I mean, even though it's inaccurate, it still hits harder and it still hurts. So I mean, it's really probably up to personal opinion, really, like it is, truly. I don't know what else to say. It's Gengar. It's powerful. It's a threat. But Gengarite has been banned from OU, I can tell you that much, so you don't have to worry about making Gengars anymore. Go have fun running your other Pokemon and not getting Shadow Tagged in. Number 5, Scizor. Scizor, obviously, just because it's Scizor. I like, most of these Pokemon, it's kind of upsetting because you know them already, and you know why they're threatening. So, it's not like it's a big surprise that Scizor and then the next 3 Pokemon maybe are still OU, or 4 Pokemon actually. Like, the meta really isn't, just because people are sticking with stuff that they see in-game and they know from 5th gen, so like they're like, oh, I saw this guy in 5th gen and he's in this game, let's try him out and he looks really good in Pokebank. So Scizor coming in at number 5 though, just because again, Bullet Punch with Technician makes it really strong against the Fairy types that came in. The only ones you really have to worry about in the ways of Fairy type is, I think, Klefki and Sylveon. I think those are the only 2 that are really being used. Carbink, a little bit, and it's times 4 weak to Steel, so it's like, I don't know if people will run that when knowing that Scizor is fairly common. So, I mean, you know, U-turn, Mega Scizor is fantastic, gets bulkier, so if you can set up with it very easily. And, I mean, there's not many at this time, there's not many Sun teams running around. So there's no Mega Charizard Y running around, there's no Ninetales running around, so I mean, it's free-for-all, really. It's just Scizor Fun Day. And also, Heatrans are not running around, but I've started to see a little bit more because people are realizing that Heatran is a pretty good Pokemon in this gen still. So, that's a good thing for people to remember. Tyranitar coming in, number 6. Tyranitar, the recent weather nerfs has not stopped its tyranny over Pokemon. If you guys don't know, weather has been nerfed to 5 turns as opposed to being permanent with stuff like Sandstream and Drizzle and stuff like that. So it does not get boosted by any of the rocks either. We have confirmed this. So as a result, you know, Tyranitar is still a really good poke out of the 4 Pokemon. You will not see Politoed, but that's how, you know, inaccurate this thing is. It should be up here. I don't even know where it is right now. Where is it on the list? Where's Politoed? Control F. Body. It's 54 on the list. Yeah, that's definitely inaccurate. But that's why I said don't take this as a grain of salt. Just something to talk about. Tyranitar, very good Pokemon. You guys already know its stats, its typing, everything like that. It's access to its vast move pool. It's a good Pokemon, even with Sand being nerfed. It just makes you play a little bit safer with your weather. That's it. That's all it's made to do. Garchomp, number 7. Garchomp, I think you're allowed to use Sand Veil. That might be a thing. I'm not sure if they've reset the evasion clause to test it in OU, or to test it in 6th Gen OU. But we already know he's a nice wall. He's a nice bulky Pokemon. Ground and Dragon are still good typings. Dragons are not getting pooped on like we thought they would by Fairy types. Because, again, we've only found, I think, 2 or 3 viable Fairies that are in OU, not Ubers like Xerneas, but I mean, Garchomp is just a really good choice. Unfortunately, Togekiss is going to poop on it. That's another huge Fairy type. That's a huge threat. That is a massive threat. Not showing up on this list, obviously, because people just recently discovered that Togekiss is now Fairy and Flying, which quad resists Fighting, which basically says, Garchomp, suck my D, and that's pretty much, like, it's good. It's fantastic. Beware of Togekiss. Carry a Poison type for it, please. I can't think one off the top of my head. Toxicroak, but then it gets killed by Air Slash. Figure it out! It's a threat, though. It's really annoying. It's a pain. But anyways, enough about Togekiss. I'm going to rant as much as Aegislash with Togekiss. But, number 8 is Azumarill. Azumarill becoming Water Fairy type. I don't know why, but what I do know is giving it Play Rough, which is a base 90 physical move with, I think, 95% accuracy, on top of the fact that it has huge power, on top of the fact that it has Stab, they made Azumarill really good. And with, I believe, egg moves can be passed on from both males and females. There's been a lot of changes to movesets. Now you can run Roserade with Spikes and Sleep Powder. You can now run Azumarill with Belly Drum and Aqua Jet. Dear God, what were they thinking? You can now run Ferrothorn with both Stealth Rocks and Spikes. I don't think that's really that big. I thought it could to begin with. I didn't know it was actually restricted. But apparently it was. Cool, who thunk it? But yeah, Azumarill is just, it's doing its thing. Waterfall, Aqua Jet, Super Power, and now Play Rough over Ice Punch, I believe. That's what people are running. So, still run most likely to Choice Banded, or most of the time Choice Banded, but I see some Belly Drums running around, so, you know, you have to be aware of it, but I mean, you can still assume Choice Band. Just because it's, you have to really be able to pull off the Belly Drum, or you're screwed and you lose a really powerful Pokemon. So, Azumarill, taking the stage by storm as a fruity Fairy type. I don't know. Ferrothorn, number 9. It's Ferrothorn. Like, I, again, have nothing more to say than if I had seen it in 5th Gen. Really good typing, has really good access to Leech Seed, with hazards on top of Gyro Ball, really powerful Power Whip. Its defenses are fantastic. Like, what else am I going to say about it? It's Ferrothorn. I'm just going to move on. Like, I honestly can't tell you. It's the same thing. It's doing the same thing that it did in 5th Gen meta. Being a good wall. Good against the typings. And now Gyro Ball is really good against Fairy types, even though, again, the Fairy types that you're fighting against are slow or are just neutral to it, like Azumarill and Sylveon. So, yeah. Ferrothorn, still a thing. Number 10, falling in, and I'm kind of happy it's making a comeback, is Rotom Wash. Believe it or not, Rotom Wash, to me, is the best coverage wall in 6th Gen. The best. It, for some reason, I cannot explain it, but right now, Water Electric with Levitate, it just comes in and not walls everything, but it checks a lot of stuff. And I mean, it did that in 5th Gen. I guess it just fell off because we got into a different meta that Rotom Wash just wasn't as used, but it used to be used a lot, and it's being used a lot again because Rotom Wash just has fantastic typing. It has fantastic access to moves, Volt Switch, Will-O-Wisp, Hydro Pump. It has to use Hydro Pump, but still it gets access to Discharge. Like, it's good, and I'm very surprised, and I'm really happy that it's being used a lot more because it does deserve that type of attention. It's really fantastic as a wall, as a good check. It's fast enough to check and go for Volt Switches, and it just fits in so many defensive cores. It's fantastic. So, if you're looking to get into 6th Gen, make sure you consider Rotom Wash. Highly recommend it because it's I don't know, it's just working. It's working and it's fantastic. I'm taken away by it. So we're getting close to the end of the match here, but just to quickly go over the next 10 that did not quite make the cut, but we will honor, of course, Lucario, Dragonite, Alakazam, Excadrill, Gliscor, Sylveon, Charizard, Gudra, Klefki, and Gyarados. I've seen more Klefkis than Garchomps, so that's why this list is kind of a little eh. So, Again, don't take this list to heart. This was just something to show you guys the way that the meta is going right now. People are just sticking with the stuff that existed in game for 6th gen. If you didn't play the game, you know, most of the stuff you see in 6th gen, in Pokemon X and Y, and then, you know, because this is Pokebank, people are trying to expand a little bit. But even then, you look at the next 10 here: Lucario, Dragonite, Alakazam, Excadrill, all top 20 were in Pokemon X and Y, the actual video game. So, I mean, the most going out of the way, I think, is Heatran. I think that's probably the only Pokemon here in the top 25 that is not accessible in Pokemon X and Y. I'm not even sure about that, but I'm pretty sure it isn't. So, otherwise I see them running around right now. And in Pokebank OU, they're running around. So, I mean, that's the only Pokemon that is Pokebank in the top 25. So, it doesn't really reflect a Pokebank type of game where simulator people have the advantage and get to try out as much as they want. But, I mean, it's expected. I'm currently thinking about different things to use. I actually have a list here. I'm going to try and use Ditto, Exploud. I'm using Surskit on my Little Cup team. Roserade, I've tried out, and I'm actually going to show you a team that, wow, the new Roserade with all those, with Sleep Powder and Spikes. Beautiful. It's absolutely fantastic. Crobat, really fast, knows Defog and Taunt. Togekiss because it's broken. Zygarde, the Z Legendary that is also OU, by the way. Just because it's actually not as stupid as you think it is, but I think I figured out something that will make it kind of annoying, which I think I'll like. Granbull because it's a fairy type, and it learns to play rough, so it actually makes it pretty strong. Heracross Mega because it's funny, and I need to check to see if Deoxys speed, attack, and defense are allowed in OU, because they haven't said anything otherwise. They said the only things that have been banned right now are Gengarite and Deoxys Normal. So the fact they said Deoxys Normal makes me think that the other three have been brought back down to OU for testing, just like they did in 5th gen, where we had Deoxys Defense in UU for the longest time, right? And, yeah, I think that should be actually pretty fun. And I don't know why, but Chandelure with Shadow Take still has not been released. Neither has Contrary Superior, but I've seen people using Contrary Superior everywhere, and I don't understand. So I need to test that too, because if you're allowing Shadow Take Chandelure to run around, that'll be like the new mini Gengar, the mini Mega Gengar. I don't know. Kind of funny to think about, but I mean, it gets Infiltrator in 6th gen. That's not terrible. It's not the greatest. I'd still run Flash Fire over Infiltrator, I guess. I haven't thought about it, but I mean, getting a free special attack raise to me sounds a lot more sounds a lot less situational than hitting through a substitute or reflect or stuff like that. So, anyways, that was a match. Hope you guys enjoyed the top 10. I wanted to do other things, but I haven't had the time. And it's I've been really busy with school, so I'm just trying to get stuff out here. And unfortunately, Showdown has been down, so it's been interrupting my recording. So, yeah, we're gonna try and get this as quickly as possible, people. I apologize. It's just school comes first, you know that. And thank you to all the people who, by the way, have been subscribing. A lot of you have come in since I've said that. So, hi everyone. Nice to see you again, or nice to see you in general. And also, screw the new YouTube. Google Plus is dumb. If they really want to force it down like this, they might as well just get rid of it, come up with a better system, to be honest. I have not signed into it. That's why I'm not answering comments for the next little while, until they force me to take it. Kind of taking a Shofu stand here. Until they force me to use Google Plus, I don't see a point using it. I don't want to sign up to something that I don't need. So, it's dumb. Anyways, thank you so much for watching, guys. I'll come up with an actual battle that will, require me to actually talk about it. So, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Until then, peace.